Hey, what's up everyone? It's Josh with the Envision Vlog, back with another video. One of the questions I often get asked related to my vision that doesn't fall under the category of answering how many fingers you're holding up or what I can see is, do I have a guide dog? The answer is no. But I have this little puppy right here. Okay, run along now. But in all seriousness and truth be told, I do not have a guide dog and I probably won't have one for some time now. And generally when I say that, I get the second question. What about a cane? And the answer to that is yes, I do actually own a cane. This is my cane. I bought it on Amazon a couple of months ago and I don't really use it a whole lot. I know that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, but let me give you all a quick little backstory. So most of these canes you can typically get through state programs that are designed to help the visually impaired. Whether it be someone who is totally blind or someone who is adjusting to blindness, a lot of times there are opportunities and programs for orientation and mobility training and assistance. And a lot of times they'll teach people how to use canes, offer them canes, get them properly fitted, all that good stuff. When I was in grad school, the state actually wanted to send me to adjustment to blindness training. It was something that I just figured I was going to get a job out of state, and I just wanted to make sure that I understood about what adjustment to blindness meant, go ahead, get all the training out of the way, so that way when I go off to a new job in a different state, I wouldn't have to worry about, orientation and mobility or any of the other things that that state may offer. I could just go ahead and get it out of the way while I was in South Carolina, and as my vision would get worse, I would just be prepared for it. So it wasn't until that we started putting the wheels in motion about me going to this training that I realized that the state wanted me to take a semester off of grad school to complete the training. And essentially I was like, time out. No, I'm not putting my education on pause for this. And then at the time I had talked with another counselor that was involved in the State Department, and she actually stated that, I seemed to be getting around just fine and there probably wasn't much of a need for me to attend orientation and mobility training at this moment. So essentially, it all got put on pause. That was 3 years ago. So here I am today. No training, and a cane that I bought for myself. I don't technically know the proper way to use it. So why did I buy this thing? The reason I bought this cane was for identification purposes only. If you look into any sort of information regarding the visually impaired, orientation, mobility, whatever, oftentimes you will find that there are actually different canes that people of visual impairment use. You have some that are extremely long, like the long white canes that are used to help someone traverse their environment. And then you have canes that are not used for the purposes of navigating an environment. They are simply used to let the outside world know that, hey, I'm a blind person. I have found that most people don't know the difference in these types of canes. And a lot of times, if they just see a cane, they know one thing. It's a visually impaired or a blind person. One of the struggles that I really have had in dealing with my visual impairment is the fact that I am legally blind, but at the same time, I do not look like a legally blind person. And also, people don't tend to recognize this unless they spend a large amount of time with me. So unless you spend time with me and see me like staring down at my phone, or if I'm trying to make something out or read something and I'm making this face trying to figure it out, a lot of people do not pick up on that. So that's why I have this, especially when it comes to things like crossing a very busy street. Because not all the time are there going to be little sound boxes or voice boxes that tell you when to cross. And not all the time am I going to see where it switches from, don't walk to walk. So when I'm trying to cross the street, those people do not know that I have a visual impairment. They don't know that I'm legally blind. For all they know, I just may look like some goof who just doesn't know how to cross the street. I mean, not just the street, but low-lit areas like restaurants and things like that, this can also apply. I haven't really brought this thing into a restaurant yet, but, walking in and basically letting everyone in the restaurant know by just having this that I have a visual issue is a lot better than, trying to walk around and feel my way around, or, have that constant nervousness and fear that I'm gonna bump into a staff member or bump into somebody's table. This, I don't know, it just helps out everyone involved. Like, I kid you not, one time I went out with a friend of mine and we went to this place and I asked where the restroom was and he pointed me to them. Well, it was dark in there and there was this whole area of chairs there that I honestly didn't see. Long story short, I ran into the chairs, almost tripped to my death, but I caught myself. So, when that happened, I stood up, looked around, I was like, oh my Lord, did anybody see that? I mean, I don't know why I did that anyway, because it's not like I could see them. And I went to the restroom. On my way back, a gentleman stopped me who referred to himself as Gucci, by the way. But yes, Gucci stopped me and he's just sort of laughing at me and he's just like, man, he's like, you must have had way too much to drink. What? No, I haven't. What? He's like, I just saw you just stumble all over those chairs, man. You ran into them. You almost fell to your death. He's like, you haven't had anything to drink tonight. I'm like, I haven't drank anything at all. Like, no. And he's like, well, why did you stumble? And I explained to him, my visual impairment. And then he got in this crazy mode of, you, sir, you are an inspiration to us all. You are an inspiration. You gonna do big things, big things. You are an inspiration to us. Not that I don't want to think I'm inspirational, and not that that story wasn't funny, but it is a prime example of something that could have been avoided if I had this. It's just one of those things that, whenever you're out and about and you see a person with a visual impairment, just know that not all the time if they have a cane are they completely blind. Some people still use them for identification purposes. Hope y'all have enjoyed the video today. As always, like and subscribe, share the videos. I'm always looking to expand. Let me know in the comments what you thought. And this is Josh with the Envision Vlog, signing off.